guys here just demonstrating the Second Amendment today, or?
Absolutely. Here to support our Second Amendment and show our displeasure to the current state government as to the current erosion of our rights. That's why we're here. We're here to show them that we're pissed off.
Did you hear about the recent ruling of the judge ruled against AR-15s again and confirmed the old AR-15 ban in Massachusetts? What did you think about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. It's disappointing. It's ridiculous. Why not let it go to court? I mean, what harm could there be to let it go to court and let a court decide whether or not her interpretation of a law that was perfectly legal for over a decade is now all of a sudden illegal because Maura Healey thinks so? Why not let that go to court and let the court decide whether or not it's constitutional or not? How can you just arbitrarily just throw out a case? Another judge upheld it, and then she went judge shopping, and then she found a judge that would throw it out. So yeah, it's absurd, it's ridiculous, and again, that's why we're out here, to show our displeasure.
Why do you think she wants to ban AR-15s?
I mean, I don't know what's going on in her head personally. For her, I think it's more or less just a campaign stunt. I think she wants attention from the left. She wants to be part of maybe the next administration running for president. You know, she wants to get her name out there. She wants to show the leftists that she's all for, grabbing guns. And that would be my best guess. Obviously, I don't know what she thinks, but yeah.
Why do you think the left in general wants to ban? Why do you think that would impress the left?
I think if I could psychoanalyze half the country, I think most leftists just don't know enough about guns. I think what you don't know, you're afraid of, and that's just it. They're not exposed to it anymore. They're brainwashed by popular culture that guns are evil, guns are bad. If you have a gun, you're just a bad guy, and that's just simply not the case. 50, 60 years, guns are fun. We need more people saying that. Guns are a blast, No pun intended.
And the reason why I'm really out here trying to promote the Second Amendment is because too many of my fellow classmates, I'm in high school, too many people are really saying that we do not need these weapons of war. We live in a new society where things like tyrants cannot happen, which I find is very bigoted and just all around stupid to even consider.
There are people who say that they've never seen the advances in these weapons. Founding fathers couldn't have foreseen that. This is the day when a newspaper was one page, typeset one letter at a time, and somebody carried it from Philadelphia to Detroit.
And people were honest.
Could they have foreseen satellites and the internet? The Second Amendment goes, the first is going to go behind it. We don't want any of them to go. Period.
Well, for defense, for many reasons, there's so many things that could go wrong.
The tyrants for killing tyrants.
Tyrants have them.
World War, Civil War, anything.
Killing
anything
tyrants.
can go wrong. I mean, somebody can break into your house and
tyrants.
Jeremy's
have a
really into the
family
killing
and,
tyrants.
You want to secure your family and the people that you love. And, somebody comes in with a gun, what are you going to do? You need to be able to defend yourself. Period. That's the difference.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of people think that the AR-15s are like, oh, you don't need an AR-15 to defend yourself, but
You most certainly do. Because what if someone comes in with an AR-15? You know what I mean? You don't take a knife to a gunfight. So, for us, in the same sense that, really we want to stay home to fight tyranny, not because, we already know. We've seen it in the past, and we see it in every other country in the world. How does that work for people that give up their guns? How does it work? It never works out for them. So we're not every other country. We're America, and we're not going to disarm ever. Why aren't they talking about all of the medications that they're just dishing out to the public? Like, what about that? How about let's talk about that instead of taking taken away people's rights. You know? How about video games, the movies, all the drugs they're putting people on? You know, those drugs, they take away a person's right to reason and rationalize. Why are you going to give a crazy person, somebody who has anxiety and depression, something that could potentially make them homicidal or suicidal? Why would you do that? So, you know, why aren't they talking to Big Pharma?
Okay, what's really funny is after the March for Our Lives, I was actually talking to a teacher about the Second Amendment and all about the pro and cons of it. And a student actually overheard us talking about it, and I actually had gotten in trouble. Yesterday, we actually just finished up the disciplinary hearing, and yeah.
So you got a disciplinary hearing for talking about advocating for the Second Amendment. They disciplined you for it?
I actually wasn't really saying that I was advocating for it. We were actually just discussing it, me and the teacher. And I previously told him that I identify as a conservative. He's actually a libertarian, so he understands where my point of view is coming from. Though too many people in this society have turned towards the ignorant left and don't want to really listen to facts that come from this side. They only want to listen to feeling facts or false facts that they like to bring up.
Like in regards to like the weaponry used, or just about the Second Amendment in general?
Yeah, one that I really hear a lot is from pretty much everyone that comes to either protest us or protesting guns and gun violence, is that there are the AR-15 is the weapon of choice for most school shooters when it really isn't. And even the stats back that up. The handguns cause about 80% of crime. You are more likely to get beaten to death with a blunt object than you are to get shot by a rifle of any kind.
Yeah, I've seen those kinds of statistics. It is kind of alarming that they're kind of jumping on AR-15s and what seems like they're more of using it as like an entryway into gun confiscation. But in regards to your school, why do you think nobody really knows as much, or what are they teaching you about the Second Amendment when it comes to school nowadays?
When it comes to the Second Amendment, they are shying away from it because it's become such a controversial topic in today's society, which it really shouldn't be. It's something that is part of our country that we should be supporting. And when it comes to everything else, like the First Amendment, they're like, yeah, we should keep that and we should talk about it. But when it comes to things like the Second Amendment and all the pro-gun things, they try to avoid it at all costs.
The same, but inevitably something's going to happen. We don't know when, but we're going to be ready for it when it happens. You know.
So Second Amendment's good for, you know, in the event that we end up devolving into a World War III scenario and
anything. I mean, look at New Orleans, right? When they had the flood and everything in New Orleans. You were seeing people that were just normal people, you know, their self-preservation kicked in, and immediately, you know, self-preservation kicks in. They went animalistic. They were, you know, out robbing their neighbors, and, you know, people were left defenseless against that. That couldn't happen in Boston. It couldn't happen in, you know, other places. You know, you need to be able to defend yourself, period.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
We're talking about, you know, all the people that misuse guns, but what about all of the good? What about, you know, for example, Harriet Tubman? How would Harriet Tubman have led some of the slaves to freedom? She was armed.
What's that? Definitely
You know, she was armed.
There was speaking on that, there was a lot of the talking points that are the left, like I saw Larry King mentioned it, and there were a few others that have been mentioning it, saying that the Second Amendment, they created the Second Amendment as a tool for white supremacy and to keep the slaves in line. line they needed to have guns, so they had the Second Amendment. That's
all they know how to do is play into politics. You know, it's read between the lines. It's not exactly hard to say. Martin Luther King was a Republican. He was a conservative. Okay. No Republican has ever owned a slave. That's a fact. We've always been on Black America. We've always been on their side, and we're always going to be on their side. We're their greatest ally, and they don't even know it. We're not saying that there aren't people in the white race that are jerks. There are, but they're in every race. But you know, let's not fixate on that. What about all the good? All the good people do. If you talk to anybody here, you'd say these are all good people. And they would do anything, you know, to follow Americans. Regardless of their race, their religion, their culture, it doesn't really matter. You know, these are good people. I wouldn't be standing here with them if they weren't.
right.